Yo, bless all my people. Nobody hack my accounts. I'm here with you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Bless.
Tuface Idibia and Annie Idibia are getting a divorce. There's a lot of inside story going on with these two people. There's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of stories, controversies, so many things. If you know them, you know what I'm talking about. Annie Idibia has been through a lot in the hands of Tuface Idibia. She met him while she was 16 years old, and now I think she's over 30, if I'm not sure, but she's around that age. And she has kids for him, 3 or so. This guy has 3 other baby mamas with so many children out there. I just feel like Annie has been through so much that people on the internet are begging her to leave her relationship. But you know, all these women that be like, I'm gonna stay with my man no matter what. They renew their vows sometimes last year or last 2 years during their young famous and Africa show. They did vows renewal, but now they are getting divorced. I don't know. When I saw Two Face saying that they are separated and they are filing for divorce or they want to go their separate ways, I was like, finally. I don't know who wants to leave who, but the fact that the relationship wants to scatter, I'm happy.
Y'all, I know I look crazy right now, but I was just about to go to bed and I saw something on Twitter and I had to get up and make this TikTok. Let's talk about it. Tuface announced about maybe like several hours ago that he's divorcing Annie. My mind is just blown. And excuse me if I'm talking low. I just put the kids to bed. Everybody's sleeping, so I can't be like too loud and reactive, even though I want to scream. What? Like, I just hope you guys understand that this is a lesson to just choose yourself over these niggas every single time. Choose yourself. Because you will stick with a nigga through everything just for him to leave you in the end. Just for him to leave you in the end. Just like Kanye said, men will leave you in the desert with no water to drink. Oh my God. And tell me why this nigga is really on, I think it was Instagram. He's talking about he's going to do a press tour to explain his side of the story. Imagine not only getting a public divorce, but your ex-husband or a soon-to-be ex-husband is also going to do press to tell his side of the story. My prayers are out to Annie and her children. I can only imagine what she's going through. And y'all know that Annie be bugging and all the head bobbing and all the... I can only imagine. And it makes me have a little bit more compassion for her because maybe on this season of Young, Famous, and African, the reason why she's wilding out was because things were not okay at home. Like, I remember that she had like a little FaceTime call with Tuface at one point, but Annie was just acting so all over the place. Like, her and Tuface must have been going through some shit for some time now, because obviously the season was filmed probably last year, but still. For things to get like this, that means that something was going on in the household. Something was going on crazy.
Yo, bless all my people. Nobody hack my accounts. I'm here with you. Yeah. Thank you very much. Bless you.
Annie Idibia, breathe. This is for the best. As far as I'm concerned, this is for the best. Dare everyone who will come across this video, be you male or female, the worst thing that can happen to you in this life is to invest so much, everything you have in another human being, and then leave yourself out. The worst thing that can happen to you is to invest your love, your time, your happiness, hoping that another human being will make you happy, and then leave yourself behind while you're doing it. Ignore yourself, ignore your self-esteem, ignore your self-worth, and ignore every single value you should be fighting for. Ignore every single respect you should give to yourself. No matter what, Only invest in who invests in you. Do not invest everything in any human being. Reserve some for yourself. I'm too angry making this video. If I sit down here and start cussing out Annie, that would be a total waste of time, and I'm not helping her situation. But all I'm saying here, Annie, it is for the best. It's going to hurt at this moment. It will hurt. You will cry all the cry. But I think it's high time you discover who Annie is. I think it's high time you think of yourself. I think it's high time you need to step away from the shadows of innocent Idibia. I think it's high time you look for yourself where you lost yourself. I think it's high time you become you again. You become Annie the actress. There is nothing here. Is it going to hurt? Maybe today will begin to see heartbreak. But you're going to stand up and get up strong. I pray you have good friends around you. I pray you have people that can really stand there and wrap their arms around you and provide shelter and the peace you're looking for you. Yes, I support this 100%. I think it's high time because this lady has invested everything and left nothing for herself. I think it's high time she find herself. Sorry, I'm shouting. I'm just too upset. More wisdom to some of you.
Hi, yo. It's been a minute. I mean, I stopped, right? Okay, now straight to it. These people have been trending. Why? Because of this man. I'm just gonna cut to the chase, right? Ladies, women, girls, whatever you do in this life, always choose yourself first. I mean, nobody's in the marriage with them, right? I'm not in the marriage, we are not there. But it's one thing to be emotionally intelligent. It's one thing to be empathetic. It's one thing to be intelligent, and it's one thing to be emotionally intelligent. Actually, IQ is different from EQ. So now, of all times, of all moments that Tuface Idibia chose to come out to announce his divorce from his wife, it's now when people are bashing her. Funny how I've never even watched this Young, Rich and Famous show. I have never watched it. But one thing I know for sure is I've been scrolling online and I know Annie Idibia has been dragged for a while. And I know she's being dragged. I mean, I know it's because of the show that I have never watched. And the reason why I didn't even pay attention to the dragging is because I don't like when I see a lady being dragged. And when I read the comments and it has to be with emotions, burst of emotions and all of that. And I know that's what she's going through right now. Victim or no victim, I don't know. But the fact that Tuface chose to be insensitive, to come out now and talk about their divorce, putting her up for more drags, is saying, stay away from men. Honestly speaking. Because, I mean, we can't do without this gender. But if it gets to a point where you have to choose, always choose yourself first. Because I saw a post where someone said, Annie has been dating Tuface since she was 15 years old. Allegedly. I'm not sure of that information. I don't know. That's why I said allegedly. And while Tuface was in his 20s, she was like 15. And then people are saying she put up for it. She decided to do it as a choice. I mean, do you know what it means to be in love with someone when you were 15? Go back to your life and think about the first love you had, 15 and above. And then up till this moment. I mean, we all know how much Annie carries this marriage on her head. We all know how Annie has been dragged. We all know this, the nonsense that followed their marriage. But of all times, let's say, okay, they have both decided that they want to go separate ways. Innocence is not trying to be innocent. Innocent is trying to innocently put his ex-wife up for drags. Ladies, stay away from a man that continues to rubbish you over and over and over again. I'm pained. I'm actually pained. Like, I'm really pained. Bye, guys. Well, so it would appear that Annie has in fact been hit by a smooth criminal. Okay, and his name is Tubaba. And Annie is in fact not okay. She's not okay, not even a little bit. Because Jesus, ha! Like, for that man to go, he has cheated on her, he has had babies on her, he has embarrassed her on multiple platforms for all these years. And now you're leaving her? No. That's actually diabolical. Okay? I'm sorry. If I'm Annie, sir, till death do us part. You're not going nowhere. It's for life. I have endured too much for you to go anywhere. Like, what? You think you're going, you're not going anywhere, sir. I'm sorry. No. Sorry, Saws.
While we were here talking shit about Annie and like calling her out about doing drugs or whatever we called her out on the show for, Annie is now filing for divorce. We don't know if she's filing for divorce or Tuface is filing for divorce, but Tuface has officially made it. He just said it. He said like they're no longer together. They're separated. Kind of makes sense because now that the show is like all over the place on Netflix, all of a sudden she doesn't post on Instagram. We know that the reason why they're on that show to start with is to get the notice. And it's important that when the show is ongoing on Netflix, your Instagram keeps popping because that's when the ads can come in, right? But she doesn't post. So she's quiet. And a lot of times I thought that maybe it was because of the, negative comments on the internet about her. But it's not. She was going through real shit. We need to be careful what we say to people because we don't even know what people are going through at the time that they're going through it. I feel bad. She is going through a divorce. And what pains me the most is the fact that her family means a lot to her. She's somebody that I don't think she can be anything but just a mother and a wife. That's what I think, because Annie has never been Annie. Annie is more of Tuface's wife than an actress. You get what I'm trying to say? So losing that can mean a lot to her, really. I don't know where she is right now mentally, but at the same time, I just hope that she's doing well because Tuface is somebody Annie has known all her life. And when I say all her life, I mean her whole adult life, because since she became an adult, she's been with Tuface, right? She's been a mother and Tuface's wife. She's gone through all this criticism, this insults, people just look down on her because of what she's been able to take from this man. I don't know what their situation was. I'm not trying to say anybody was wrong or right, but she no longer has all that makes her Annie Idibia. Who is she now? And I cannot help but wonder, this videos were dropping, we're talking about her, what I'm doing right now, is it doing her any good or harm? Really, because at this point, does she even want to see this kind of videos? Does she even want to hear what we're doing? Does she want to hear us saying she does drugs, she did this, she did what to Zara? Does she want to hear that? And that's why I said that Young, Famous, and African is one of the biggest shows in Africa yet. Take it.
I know things are going to be very tough for her. Imagine you've been with a man all your life, all your years. You've known him all your life. And it's not that he has been faithful, or it's not that he loved you differently. He has been hurting you. But because he groomed you and you don't even know what love is, or probably it's your first love, and you all, Two-Face, I feel like when they met then, he was not even a celebrity, or he has not blown to that stage because he's a legend. Two-Face is a legend, right? She stayed with him when he had nothing. When he became very popular and a celebrity, she's still with him. And you know what all these men do when they have money? They have baby mamas around. They can't keep what is between their legs to their woman. They distribute it. And this particular man, he does it freely, leaving children with it. He will sleep with you and leave children with you, right? So all these things will hurt his woman, of course. I just feel like Annie has been through a lot. This last season of Young, Famous, and Africa, or Young, African, Famous, I want to review it, but I feel like I have a lot to say. So probably I'm going to be posting that on my short. I'll just be breaking the episode one by one and just review it on my own, because there's a lot going on. If you usually watch the show, let me know that in comment section so I know I'm not alone. So this season 3, there's a way Annie was behaving and everybody was just coming to talk about it. This was just happening last week. And people were coming to the internet to talk about probably Annie is on drugs and all of that she's reacting to something. She's going through a lot, and mental health. She needs to go check her mental health. She's not okay. and everybody has tied it with a marriage, which is true. I feel like one of the reasons whereby some women lose it is because they married a wrong person, or they are with a man that is making them feel that way. With everything Annie has been through with this man, he has the guts to come to the internet and publicly tell people that they are no longer together. So this is giving, if you like, kill yourself for a man. He will always choose himself. If you like, give your man everything you have and forget about yourself. They will always choose themselves. They will always love themselves first before you, no matter what you do. They see what you're taking from them, but they cannot take it when you do it to them. So that is why there's nothing you want to do to a man, or there's nothing a man wants to do to you. If you keep forgiving, they start taking you for granted, and that is the standard they're going to show you. I really don't know what happened. No, they're not coming out to tell us this is exactly what happened. But in my head, I know that marriage has been over even before now. But it's because probably Annie is still fighting for her man. And Annie doesn't joke with her family. The way she portrays herself, she doesn't joke with her family. She loves her family so much. She can do anything to keep her family together. So if she's going through something like this, I can imagine the kind of trauma she'll be facing, because she's this kind of woman that she has soaked herself into that toxic marriage. Those kind of women, I pity them. I pity those women because they started very young. She has soaked herself into that toxicity that she thinks that is a normal way of life. She thinks that is how love's supposed to be. She thinks that is how a man supposed to love you and all of that. So she does all these things, or she stays with him thinking, I think that is how everything's supposed to be normal. But that's not how everything's supposed to be normal. But she doesn't know. I always feel pity for her. I don't know. I just don't know. I always feel very pity. But when I saw the news, in my head, I'm happy. By the end of the day, I'm like, I don't think this woman is going to be all right. It's going to take a very long time. If she doesn't have a good support system, if she doesn't have a good friend to lean on, or she doesn't have good family to lean on, she's going to go through a lot. See, we talk about, you know, narcissist men, we talk about so many bad behaviors around men, we talk about so many bad marriages and all of that. We talk about it. You see, in Africa is worse. Okay. The kind of toxicity we talk about, if you compare it to what is happening in some marriages in Africa, yeah, I don't it that is worse. Okay. So imagine times 100 of what this woman went through, but she's still there. Her family members would, in fact, they don't even want to even know what you're going through. Sometimes your family members will tell you, go back to your husband's house, do whatever your husband wants you to do. People around will tell you, Shebi, you know that it was like that before. You stay, you must stay. Now people are saying that they are not happy. Two-Face want to leave her, that he must stay with her. Who is he leaving Annie for and all of that? I want them to see that. I feel like if she doesn't leave that man, she's going to unalive herself one way or the other, because a lot of so many things talk about in social media. She'll open her phone, her children are even grown and they are seeing what is going on. She has girls. So it's going to affect her one way or the other, and she might get to a stage that she will just do drugs, and she will just do things, just do unhealthy things, so that her head will just get over it, or she will not have time to think about what is going on. So, but people are saying that they should not divorce or something. I personally want them to go, but she needs to just take herself away. I don't know. Like, I just feel like she's so deep into that toxicity that it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a very long time for her to come back to her senses. And she needs good support system. I just hope she has good support system around. I hope a family, or even if it's just one person that she's close to, that will support her genuinely. I just hope the person is there. If not, this woman can unalive herself. She's that deep into it. Anyways, you know these two people I'm talking about. I know you might not know Annie, or probably you might know Tuface, guy that sang "You Are My African Queen." I don't know if you remember him. Yeah, that's his wife. I'm talking about the two of them. So yeah, do you know them, or have you heard what's going on? Do you usually watch young females in Africa? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Respectfully, check out Maya Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.